Women. We're half the population, but somehow still treated like a special interest group. In America, being a woman sometimes means dodging more bullets than compliments. In England, you can still enjoy a night out without having to worry about someone taking an assault rifle into a Wetherspoons. Today, I'm going to compare how the UK is much safer for women than in the US. And you'll see at the end of it, while Britain may have more rain, it's still a better deal than the US. Let's start with the obvious. Guns. There are about 120 guns for every 100 people in the US. That's literally more guns than people. In the UK, however, it's about 4 guns for every 100 people. For women, this matters because in 50% of intimate partner homicides, they're committed with a gun. In the UK, that's closer to 3%. Here, while domestic murders tend to happen with knives, not guns, it's a little more difficult when you have to wait in line at a supermarket to get your weapon versus signing up for a bank account in the US and getting a free gun, or going down to your local supermarket and getting a gun, or winning a raffle and getting a gun. Nothing can compare to how many bullets a gun can shoot in a short time frame. If you only have one knife, while it is not ideal, nothing is when you're being attacked, it's still less scary than an assault rifle, and there's still a chance. Now let's talk about wombs, the controversial handbag of the body, some say. In England, abortion has been legal for up to 24 weeks since 1967. In Northern Ireland, as of 2019, they've also changed their laws that are pretty close in line with what's going on in England now. However, over in America, in 2022, the long-standing Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court. And since then, dozens of states have essentially banned all abortion for any needs. And yes, many times this includes saving the life of the mother, and in many cases, a child that mother wanted, because the legal gray area has been, well, so gray that many doctors and nurses are afraid to perform these life-saving procedures at the risk of the hospital being sued, or, in some extreme cases and in extreme states, being charged with murder. So the easiest solution is to just let everybody die. Many of these states also have no exemptions for incest or rape. If you've seen any of these US politicians speaking, there is one who thinks that you cannot get pregnant via rape, that your body will expel it naturally, because that's science.
If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down.
I say this as a joke, but sadly it is not a joke. In some states, your pickup truck has more rights than your uterus. So in the UK, a woman can decide what she wants to do with her own body, whereas in the US, many politicians think a clitoris is a type of dinosaur. In the UK, healthcare is free at the point of use. Yes, we pay an NHS tax fee and our jobs pay into it through our paycheck, but it's free at point of use. Meaning you can have your baby at the hospital for free. The only problem might be the tea isn't that great. In the US, the average price of giving birth if you have no insurance, which is really common, is $18,000. That's the price of a small car, except hopefully the car doesn't give you stitches. Now, insurance in the state is often offered through your employer, and that can change your coverage dramatically. In the UK, healthcare is free at the point of use, even maternity care. This means you can go into labor, give birth at any hospital, and not have to worry about it being in network, and it won't bankrupt you. And maternity care, England wins again. Women are given up to 52 weeks with 39 of them paid. In America, there's not even a guarantee of maternity leave. Many women take merely 2 weeks off before returning to work. That's barely enough time to wobble back into the office. And if you had to go have an emergency C-section or any complications during your pregnancy that leave you healing longer, sorry, tough. That's it. You got to go back to work. But here is an alarming statistic between the two countries. Remember, the US has some of the most expensive healthcare in the world. But babies in the US are 50% more likely to die in the first year of birth than in the UK. America's infant mortality rate is 5.4 for every 1,000 births. Compare that to the UK, which is just 3.6 for every 1,000 births. And it doesn't get any better for the mothers. In the US, the maternal mortality rate is about 23 for every 100,000 women. In the UK, it's only about 10 for every 100,000 women. So despite America spending twice as much on healthcare than the UK, women are twice as likely to die in the US than in the UK. Turns out universal healthcare saves lives, not just women and men, but babies too. Now let's discuss workplace rights. In England, workplace discrimination based on gender is illegal. Equal pay is the law. And while it is not always perfect, there are formal protections. In the US, protections do exist, but once again, they vary dramatically by state. Plus, healthcare in the States is usually tied to your employment. If you lose your job, you might lose your access to maternity care, contraception. You could be pregnant in the middle of this and lose your insurance. So in England, a woman can leave her job and still have access to wonderful maternity care. Whereas in the States, I hope you can find a video on YouTube how to do it. I also wanted to add this bit of information showing when all women in America were allowed to vote, which was not until the 1960s. In America, freedom looks more like a subscription service than a human right. Now let's just talk about everyday life in England. Not only does the UK have a lower violent crime rate than the US, you also don't have to worry about mass school shootings, or concert mass shootings, or grocery store mass shootings, or church school shootings. Really, you don't have to worry about mass shootings at all here. And the public transport is wildly safer than in the States. All it takes is a quick Google online and you can see what the subway system looks like in the few cities that have it in America. And it ain't pretty. So yes, I know people will say Britain is not perfect. Please show me a place that is perfect. But when it comes down to verifiable statistics and lived experience already, the UK is far safer for women. So what have we learned here? In America, being a woman means paying thousands of dollars to give birth, fighting politicians for control of your own body, and dodging bullets everywhere you go. In the UK, the only thing I've had to dodge is puddles. Of course, in the UK, there's still issues of wage gap, harassment, sexism, but they're working on those things and moving forward, where it feels like in the States, they're actively going in reverse. So in England, as a woman, you get to actually enjoy more freedom and more safety than in the States. America may have the Statue of Liberty, but women in the UK have actual freedom. And if you like this video and these little breakdowns, please like and subscribe and press that little bell so you'll be updated every time I decide to ramble on the internet.